Hi, Ebba. So nice to have you
Hi,
here.
same. Nice to be here.
Yes, thank you so much for your time. Yeah, maybe let's start with a little introduction. Tell us a bit more about yourself and the startup you're working on. And yeah, also then we can talk about your fundraising news.
Yes, sounds like a plan. So my name is Ebba Sandbecker. I'm based here in Sweden, in Gothenburg, and I'm co-founder and CCO at LayerLogic. And we are, from beginning, a spin-off from Chalmers Technological University here in Sweden. And we are developing a biosensors for quick detection of bacteria in food production. Today, they have a lot of problems with detecting bacteria in real time. It can take 3 to 5 days, which forces the producers to either recalls or store the food. And we want to give them an opportunity to test in real time and make it easy and available. So that is us.
Yes, nice. Thank you so much. And yeah, so congrats, first of all, for closing your first fundraising round. Can you tell us
Thank
a
you.
bit more about the size of the round and yeah, like your experience and yeah, just a success story, basically.
Yes, of course. So I think it started like we are a spin-off from Chalmers, and I actually graduated from my engineering uh, education last June, which means that I started to work directly 100% with this company. So it was actually kind of starting early with the fundraising because um, you leave the university and then we need the money to actually survive and continue
Hmm.
the development. So it started very early. We started in September to look at it, and from the beginning, we thought it's going to be so much more easy. We was like, okay, probably we will close it in December, but that was not the case at all. I think that today's fundraising market is very hard, especially when you're working with deep tech that we really are. It's research that we want to develop into a product that someone can use, and it's also hardware.
Yeah.
So it took a lot of time, and I also think like the preparation for it was, of course, you can prepare, but this is also my first startup that I am a co-founder of, and I haven't been in this early phase before I work with fundraising, only later stage and helped with fundraising. So I think that you can prepare a lot and of course have this data room there. You make your list of investors, you try to get this like warm connection through your entrepreneur friends, and you also try to see which investor should I actually reach out to. But I will also say like if you are a first time founder as I am, it's also hard to prepare because you don't really know how it will look like.
Yeah.
So of course, do some preparation because you doesn't want to come to the meeting or meet investor with when you don't have this data room or don't have the pitch deck ready.
Yeah.
But I will also say that you learn through the process. And I don't think that you should like not talk about that because you can stay home and prepare how much you want, but you will always meet different objections when you move out from the office. So
Yes, that's true.
yeah,
Yeah, always good to put yourself out there and actually try, no matter how hard you prepare. Actually,
yeah,
that's a good point. And now, so coming back to today, so now you managed to close the round. Maybe you can tell us
yeah.
a bit more about that, about the
Yes, of
round itself.
course. So we were always aiming for 5 million Swedish, which is around 500,000 euros. And
Yeah.
that was our goal the entire time. And I think that is maybe the success story that we had because, of course, it was looking when it was harder to raise the money, maybe we should take in less money. But we always kept that goal. And I
Hmm.
think when you have a goal that is set very clear, I think the chances to actually reach it's higher. But they ended it with a lead investor from Italy,
Hmm.
Scientifica. And I think when really get them on board, everything else is starting to like
Come
connect
into
around
place.
it. So the
Yeah.
angels were more committed. We
Yeah.
have early connected and committed angels and a family office from beginning, which was very, very good. I think we already had that in place in December.
Yeah.
But
That's
then we had a little bit struggle to actually find this lead investor, which is
yeah.
often something you need today.
Yeah.
Someone who do this entire due diligence
Yeah.
that others can just jump on.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Makes sense. Yeah, thanks for sharing. So you would say like one of the challenges was actually to find like a lead investor that puts
Yeah,
in like all the work, and once you had that investor, it was quite easy then to get the others committed and kind of push
yeah,
them over the line because they were already interested but didn't want to do, let's say, the a heavy lifting of the round. Yeah.
yeah. I would say that we had committed half of the round for several months,
Yeah.
but we like missed the last part.
Yeah.
And also for our own, how we wanted to create this round, because I think also that is something that you need to talk more about. Of course, you need the money, but you doesn't want the money from anyone
Yeah.
either. So we are still early stage and early phase when it's come to our startup. We're building our MVP. We have done test out with customers. We have 4 paid pilots, but we're still trying to create the product to reach the market. So we wanted both angels with industry education,
Yeah.
industry expert and experience, but we also wanted these deep tech investors who understand deep tech and research
Yeah.
technology, I would
Makes
say.
sense. Yes.
So
Yeah.
I think now afterwards we are very happy with how the round comes out because we both have angels within the food industry. We have angels
Perfect.
within finance and startups, family office within biotech companies. And then we have Chalmers Ventures and Scientifica, which is more deep tech investors. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice, nice. This is great. I think so many things to unpack and
yeah,
talk about. No, it's really nice. So when you're looking back now over the last months, what do you think is like one thing that you would do different if you would do it again now that you have done it? I guess the first time, I mean, it's very difficult to get into it. And as you say, you have to learn by doing it. And you
yeah,
do, even the second time, you probably do mistakes because things are just moving fast and you meet so many people. And every investor is also different. But is there one thing now looking back that you would do different?
yeah. I would actually say if I would redo it, I would spend more time to actually Google around the investors
Yeah,
because I think we spent too much time on investor that wasn't the perfect match.
yeah,
And that wasn't paying too much attention. And I think it's very hard when you're in it because then you always have the feeling like, okay, but think maybe we are the exception. Maybe we are that company that they can invest earlier in than they often do.
yeah,
So I think when you meet investor and you know that they like you stop looking at what they often invest in. So you
yeah,
lose so much time.
yeah.
And also, of course, I think this also comes with experience. You need to push them more than you do. Like if you have a deadline, it's a deadline. And if they doesn't reach the deadline with saying yes or no, then it's a no.
Yeah, then you move
But
on.
of
Yeah,
course, it's very hard because you always had a feeling that maybe they will
they,
commit.
yeah,
And
yeah,
maybe I now lost 200,000 euros or like 1 million euro. So
yeah,
I think that's something that you try to work with. But for the next round, I have already started with a template when I have different kind of criterias and like matching them and mixing them and seeing like who is actually a perfect match for us.
yeah.
I
I
think
think
that is
this is
what you
so
spend
important. Yeah.
time, yeah, should spend more time at.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like wasting your time in calls with people that actually are not the right ones to
No,
work with. But it's I think it's really, really hard to actually identify this because you're in such a, let's say, situation where you also want to get investment, so you want to take every
yeah,
opportunity basically. But I think it is in order to kind of not waste even more time than fundraising
no,
already takes. You need to make these hard decisions.
yeah,
Maybe about that, because even if, let's say, the, you know, like the hard facts about the investor match, let's say the industry, the ticket, the stage, and stuff like that. I think there's still also this situation where it needs to be kind of a personal fit, and it, you know, like
yeah,
the vibe needs to be there. So
yeah.
how did you feel about that in your investor meetings? Like, was there some situations where you said, oh no, I don't feel this, this doesn't seem like a good relationship, we need to move on and talk to someone else?
Yeah, I think it was several. We have talked with so many investors, and I reached out to so many investors. And I think that several meetings I think also when you come from deep tech and research that we do, it's also very important that they understand the technology. Either they really understand and like the business
Yeah.
and us as person, or they really understand the
The
technology,
technology.
especially if you want to find this lead deep tech investor.
Yeah.
For angels, it's different, but for the deep tech investors. And I have a meeting where they don't really understand the technology at all or questioning the entire go-to-market. And there is the job to do because they want to check us. But I think it's a mix of between asking question and then more like saying with the question that I don't believe in this at all. So I
Yeah.
think if you hear those kind of questions, try to convince them, but if it's still not like processing, then it's not a match either.
Yeah.
So I think that we also maybe spend too much time to like convincing them that this is a huge problem. And then we could be another investor that invests in several other companies in the same area and they understand the problem directly.
Yeah. Which is
So I think
most
also,
easy,
yeah,
yeah, easier than in the end.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I understand.
yes.
Yeah. I see this a lot. Yeah.
And then also something else that you can bring up, I know that it's a lot of investor firms nowadays that doesn't have the money.
Yeah.
So they are out and scouting for companies when they have the money. So I think also that is a question that you should ask nowadays. Like, do you actually have the money to invest? Because
Yeah.
we are talking with several investors as well. They're very interested. They want us to keep updating them, want to get in a data room, get to know us, but then they don't really have the money to invest and haven't done an investment for 1 year,
Yeah.
which also means that yeah, I think that question can be good, maybe not the first meeting, but after a while, actually ask them, like,
Yeah.
do you have the capacity to go in now? Some of them are very clear in the beginning, and some of them doesn't want to lose the
Sure.
deal because they also might maybe get the money in time.
Yes, yes,
So
100%. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's very important also as founder to do your own due diligence and kind of ask
yeah,
the investors, is the fund, when was the fund raised? Do you have right now still money? Also, in which moment are we in the fund? Because obviously,
yeah,
if it's very late in the fund duration, you might have huge pressure to deliver even faster. So yeah, 100%
yeah,
making your own due diligence is important, I think. Yeah.
yeah,
I wanted to ask you actually about, like the deep tech hardware and spin-off component, because I think this is a very special situation you are
yeah,
in. What would you recommend for people that are coming, let's say, from a scientific background and are coming from a university and going out, how to structure their startup? Because I see a lot of spin-offs that obviously they have a lot of technical expertise and they're trying to go out and they're often very lost how to get into this business world then and structure well their company as well, that it is kind of an interesting company to invest in. What has been
yeah.
your experience there on this side?
I think different kind of experience. So an engineer, but I'm still running the business in this company. So we have the researchers as co-founders as well.
Yeah.
So what they did was actually to go to university and say, "Hi, we think we have a great idea. Can you find some
Okay.
engineers or entrepreneurs that can help us?"
Yeah.
But I will also say that the market, the investors, asking for a lot of more like business traction, market traction
Yeah.
than you could ever think about.
Yeah.
And even in this early stage, you need to have some at least customer that want to pay for it, some letter of intent. So I think focus more on the business for a while because that will help you a lot because that is also what the investor knows about and what they are looking at.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say it doesn't matter how great technology you have. You need to find a business for it and someone who actually just say, this is something I can buy.
Yeah, I want to pay for it and I'm willing to
Yeah,
put down money. Yeah,
yeah,
100%. Yes, I think this is the trickiest part to get there actually and kind of overcome that first period of your business
yeah,
where you can build the product to a, let's say, moment where you can actually charge for it and go out.
yeah.
Did you have any investment before that or support? Or, yeah.
We actually had so one of the family office from Sweden that invested in us. They were saying yes very early.
Yeah.
And it was more about this personal thing that we had and the connection through us and the investors. And we felt from the beginning that this could be a really good match.
Yeah.
So then we were a little bit, we had done one test at customer site. And then we had planned for around 100 more during the spring that we have done now.
Yeah.
But so they actually committed before we had done those tests.
They were just convinced
But
about you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they were. But I think the other investors were actually waiting for more result from the customers and wanted to get more. So I think also that's why we didn't close that early, because we wanted to prove that we can go out and sell this
Yeah.
even before the product is finished.
Yeah.
There is a market and there's a need for this product.
Yeah.
So I think that just do one test, two tests, three, like it doesn't need to be much. You just need to convince anyone else that there is a person here on the market that can pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. No, that's great. I think nevertheless, you always need to find someone very early that still believes in you, even with
Yeah,
not having, let's say, the product yet ready. But
yeah,
this is also very personal. I think people who just believe that you are the right person actually to build it,
yeah,
which is great
yeah.
that you
And we
found
also
them.
had some angels that moment that believed in us as well.
Yeah,
But yeah, and I also think for your own sake, for have the
yeah,
like possibility to go out there and at least say that you have someone that have committed.
yeah.
Yeah,
And backs you. Okay,
yeah,
nice. Let's one last question, maybe looking into the future.
yeah,
So what's coming next? Because often, closing one round means starting the next one.
yeah,
What's on your agenda? Like, I guess first and foremost, back to building and bringing this to market now, selling
yeah.
it in a more scalable way. But what's your future outlook for your fundraising, let's say?
Yeah, we were talking about this yeah, the moment we closed, like finally, and I was like, yeah, now we need to think about the next round as well.
Yeah.
But no, so this investment round was really to actually develop the product, doing more
Yeah.
pilot tests with customers, and really contributing to the technology development. That is the main reason why we raised this money.
Yeah.
But no, we're starting today. So going through all the investors that we talked with, some of them were too early for, and
Yeah.
also having this newsletter that we have. We may be seeing that like 4 times per year, but it's still like hitting the investors' email saying, "Hi, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Maybe I will reach out to you in the future." I think that would be easier.
Yeah.
And then we're also planning how big it should be, and also what kind of like how we should structure it, I would say.
Yeah.
And there's different way that we can do it. Some of our investors might want to join the other next investment round as well. But for us, it will be a much more focus outside in Europe. So
Okay.
most of our investors today are based in Sweden. But now when we're also going for corporates in Europe and trying to get larger pilot projects
Yeah.
in Europe, we also want to go with investors in Europe as well.
Nice.
So
Makes
that
sense.
is one of the strategies.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
that's
also finding, I would say, don't forget to try to match your investment round with soft money allocation as well,
yes. Yeah. Makes
because
sense.
it's so good and you can also prolong your work time. And yeah, I think that is a key as well. So I think it's a match between finding great investors and also finding great grants,
Yeah.
EU
100%.
grants or national grants or anything, soft loans. It could be convertibles as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's this combination
Yeah,
like between private money, public money and the revenue that you're able to build and
yeah,
finance yourself. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice. No, this is great. I think what you said also that obviously once you close, you have to think already about the next move. This is, I think,
yeah,
also something very tiring. Fundraising is kind of never done, but I'm sure you learned
no,
so much throughout this round that now
yeah,
you will structure it
yeah,
even better, let's say.
yeah. But I think in the end, like when you are stressed and the money is running out, you probably forgot about half of the things that you learn
Yeah.
because the stress makes so much with your head. Like you know that you shouldn't spend time with wrong investor, but you do
Yeah.
because it's a little chance
Yeah.
that he
Yeah.
might invest in you.
Yeah.
But yeah, for first-time founders, I think it's like prepare as much as you can. Talk with someone you know that maybe can go through your pitch,
Yeah.
get feedback, go through your data room. But it's also just go out there and try.
Yeah.
I think you will find your way in the end.
100% agree. Nice. This is so great. I think lots of interesting things and learnings from your side, Eva. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for sharing. I'm super curious how it continues, and I'm sure it's going to be very successful. So thanks for sharing.
Thank you. And thank you for having me to be able to share.
Yes. Awesome.